Hi, this is from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got another book to read for you. Today, book is Aladdin and the Dancing Princess from 1983. So let's get started. One day, Aladdin set out from his palace home. He was going to visit a friend, the Sultan of the Desert Kingdom. Aladdin rode in front. Behind came a caravan filled with rich gifts from the Sultan. Aladdin rode into the desert. Suddenly, there was a sandstorm. Aladdin's horse was terrified. Aladdin's horse would not lay down, as the camel did. The horse was so scared that it ran away. Aladdin tried to follow, but he couldn't see. Soon Aladdin was lost in the storm. He tried to reach the shelter of some palm trees, but the storm was too much for him. Aladdin fell to the ground. When the storm ended, the caravan sadly made their way to the Sultan's palace. "Welcome," said the Sultan, "but where is Aladdin?" "Lost in the storm, Your Majesty," said the caravan leader. "We must find Aladdin," cried the Sultan. He called for men and horses. In no time, they was on their way, but the Sultan himself led the search party into the desert. After a while, they came to some palm trees, and there on the ground lay Aladdin. "Bring water," cried the Sultan. The water soon made Aladdin better. Aladdin was very happy to see his friends. The Sultan gave Aladdin a fine new horse, and off they rode to the palace. The Sultan's daughter, the princess, served them hot spiced coffee. Everyone was happy except the princess. She was tired and sad. Soon the princess said good night. "What a lovely girl," said Aladdin, "but why is she so tired and sad?" "Oh, I am so worried about her," said the Sultan. "Let me show you something." The Sultan called out an order. A servant brought him a pair of worn out slippers. "Every night the princess wears out a pair of dancing slippers," said the Sultan, "but she never leaves her room." "This is a real mystery," said Aladdin. "Are you sure she never leaves?" "She would be seen," said the Sultan. "Come for yourself." "The princess sleeps up in the tower," said the Sultan. Aladdin said, "Let me be the guard tonight." That night, Aladdin hid outside the princess' room. At midnight, he heard a loud crash. He peeped through the keyhole. The princess was dressed for dancing. She had knocked over a large vase. "Thank goodness nobody heard me," she said. Then she pushed aside a curtain and opened a secret door. In an instant, the princess was gone. Aladdin ran to look over the wall. Sure enough, there was the princess, and a handsome prince was waiting for her. The princess swept, the prince swept the princess up to his saddle, and it quickly rode off into the moonlight. Aladdin rubbed the magic metal that he wore on his chain around his neck. Poof! The genie of the meadow appeared. "What is your wish, O master?" the genie asked. "Take me to the princess," said Aladdin. And the next thing Aladdin knew, he was in the ballroom of a splendid place, and there was the princess dancing with her handsome prince. Aladdin hid behind a palm and watched them. The prince and the princess danced the night away. Before they knew it, the sun was rising. Quickly they ran down the palace stairs. One of the princess' shoes slipped, like slipper fell off. Aladdin picked up the worn-out slipper. Aladdin watched the couple ride across the desert toward the Sultan's palace. Then he rubbed his magic metal, and poof, the genie appeared. "Take me to the princess room," said Aladdin. And the next thing he knew, he was back in the princess room, still holding the slipper. A moment later, the princess limped through the secret door. She gasped when she saw Aladdin. "Oh, what will my father say?" cried the princess. "I want to marry the prince, but my father thinks I am too young." "Let me talk to your father," said Aladdin. "Maybe I can help." Aladdin told the Sultan the whole story. The Sultan was happy to know the truth, that he agreed to the match. The Sultan sent word for the prince to come. Aladdin was the guest of honor at the wedding. The guests ate and drank and made merry, and the prince and princess danced for hours. After the wedding, Aladdin said goodbye to the princess. They said goodbye. The princess gave him a kiss. "Thank you for helping me," she said. The Sultan and the prince and princess all waved goodbye to Aladdin. "Have a safe journey home," they cried. The next day, Aladdin reached his own palace. His wife, Princess Minnie, ran out to greet him. Aladdin couldn't wait to tell her about the mystery of the dancing princess. So that was Aladdin and the Dancing Princess from 1983. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment, and have a groovy day. We have another video coming out real soon.